Okay, let's smack that sassy and let's get started. Hey, hey, Jax, good to see you, my dear. Always know how to bring fun to the party. Smack and smack and that sassy. Oh, smack that sassy. Yes, she moved and is less obvious. Be advised. What? Boom, boom. And Kristen is here. Hello, Kristen. Good to see you, my dear. Um, Alrighty. So give a chance for the notifications to come out. So it's interesting now with this new moon because I took a workshop last weekend and learned a little bit more about astrology. And there's my Jackie. So I have my game popping up, my peeps. It's always good to see you. Um, had my little spritz with Miss Tarot D's smudging spray. I have her Heavenly Florida water on the wrist. We got her homemade salt. Is there nothing that Miss Tarot D cannot do or cannot make? She's fabulous. So got that around. So today I got quite a few decks with me. And because of that workshop, I learned a little bit here and there because astrology is just something you can't learn in one weekend. And the type that the workshop my teachers had this weekend was based on Hellenistic astrology, which is, I guess, the very earliest and most primitive. So I'll wait till a few more people pop in. I have cards from my Heavenly Bodies astrology deck here for a little bit of show and tell. And of course, I have my new Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose, who, by the way, popped in very briefly to say hi yesterday during my show while reading with her cards. That was just kind of like, for a moment there, I was like deer in the headlights. I didn't know what to say. So hopefully, I came across cool, calm, and and anyway, so I also brought my talisman oracle because it is the new moon. So getting into some of those deeper, a little bit darker cards. And my eternal crystals wanted to come today. So this is going to be quite the show. At least I'm hoping it'll be quite the show. And in the description box, there are two links from websites that I got some information today about the new moon in Scorpio. And the link is for Cafe Astrology and for a new one that I've visited a couple times, but I really like them because they look a little bit more at the spiritual aspects of the moon phases, and that's bustle.com. So both of those links are in the description. So if after the show you want to get a full on reading, because I just kind of took notes and things along the way, but really good information. And the moon went into dark new moon at around 1:37 Eastern Standard Time. I think it was a little bit earlier for me or later. I can't remember, but I checked my moon, and it's my moon app that I have. Oh, and she's all this beautiful black indigo. So I love the new moons, especially when it's just waxing and just waning, and you get that little crescent too in the sky. So, six people. Well, let's get it started. So, the new moon today is in the sign of Scorpio because we are in Scorpio right now. And Scorpio is about intensity, exploring, purging, and renewing. And what I love too again about this deck, and I'll mention it every time I go to use it, the artist and the writer are the same individual, and she hand created, painted, and did crafting and designs, and that's what everything, all her materials, all her images are from her own hands, which is amazing. And there you go. There's Jack's got the Cafe Astrology in there. And so, moving on, of course, the moon, it's new. And the basic energy of the moon is satisfying emotional needs, nurturing self and others. And we'll get a little bit more into the moon's aspects. It would have been nice, though, if she would have included a card for full moon and new moon, and maybe like a gibbous, not gibbous, a half moon, But I'm in the market for a moon deck, so we'll be hopefully next full moon I'll have something. Right now, Scorpio is actually co-ruled, according to Cafe Astrology, by basically two planets. We have Pluto, which is about transformation and kind of shakes things up and stuff. So it's kind of like the death card in the tarot. And we also have, it's also co-ruled by Mars, even though it is a water sign. And Mars is about moving forward and defending oneself. Let me put this here because I have lots of cards laying around. And Scorpio is part of the yin. It's a feminine sign because of it being water. And it's about intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. Of course, it is a water sign. And so water signs deal with spirituality, emotions, intuition, and compassion, which a lot of these cards is making absolute sense of what is listed in descriptions for the new moon in Scorpio on those links that I provided in my notes. And it's actually, Scorpio is a fixed sign. And stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. Right now, hey Megas! Everybody make sure to check out Megus's new channel, Megus and Muse Tarot. Fabulous. I got to watch one of the episodes this morning. And hello, Irene. I'm parked for a couple minutes. So this whole energy of, the new moon being in Scorpio, it's at a time where it's going to be supported because we have, even though Mercury is in retrograde, and Mercury has to do with thinking, learning, networking, communications, art, technology. There are 4 other planets that are also in retrograde, which is helping support the energy and making it a little bit more, I don't want to say less harsh, but it's very supportive, according to to the young lady who does the Astrology Cafe. I cannot think of her name. But so right now we have Uranus, which is about radical change. Just a little brief, there's more to it, but just the keywords. Neptune is also in retrograde, and it's about dream and transcending. Jupiter is also in retrograde, and it's about growth and expansion. And Saturn is also in retrograde. And Saturn has to do with the energies of feeling restricted, experiencing struggles, learn hard work and patience. So I learned in my placement with Saturn, it made a lot of sense in what house and stuff that it was in. So I'm just going to set those aside. I saw we had a few more peeps coming in. So let me just back up. And thank you. This is Magus's new channel, Magus and Muse. Well, there's one, Jax, that is Magus and Muse Tarot. I mean, Magus is just so creative. He's got so many channels, so sometimes it's hard to keep up with him, but he's on the spiritual role, getting his message out there and making sure that people, feel the love, feel the light. And let's see, I did see, okay, we know that Irene is here. Hello, Irene. And even though she's not my sidekick for shows just yet, my mod sidekick, Jax, is here, Mangled Unicorn. And we all love you too, Magus. And Beth is here. Hello, Beth. And I know we do have Kristen Louise is here. Let's see, did anybody else jump in? And Roman is here. Damn, no wonder this country is in retrograde. And alrighty, so Jax is doing the mod thing and putting in pertinent links. Tony! I hope you don't mind me calling you Tony. I have a cousin, Antoinette, I call her Tony. Hey girl, what's going on? So it's new moon. I'm trying to get back into the moon, my moon's readings. And I brought a bunch of cards. And everybody, this is Antoinette Tarot. So did you take the jewelry off? because she has a channel where she shows some of her jewelry. This is why when I first met Tony, she was doing. I was like, oh my God, I used to make, beaded jewelry. I used to do the wire work and stuff back in the day. Tony, these are actually one of my, it's kind of hard to see, but back in the day, that was one of my wire wraps for my black Lemurian moonstone. But anyway, Tony is a jeweler. If I can call you that, I don't know if you prefer a different name, but Tony does jewelry and she also does tarot. And I have been meaning to catch up on your weekly shows for the readings for all the signs. So be sure everybody to check out Tony's channel. And we're in the works with her having Jonathan, her join Jonathan and I for a Crystals of Visions. So that's going to be fun. So, oh my God, Tony, so good to see you in chat. Let's see. I've started, and Antoinette, you're always welcome for anything else. I mean, I really don't have anyone to talk about beading and stuff or jewelry work with. So if you ever want to chat about something like that or whatever, girl, just hit me up. I've started carrying my tarot cards with me. That's awesome. I never read, but I may dip my toes in. And I have 2 oracle decks. Inner fucking peace. That sounds like you, girl. And miracles now. One day soon on a YouTube channel near you. Oh, that is fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. And let's see. It will manifest. Whoops. Hi, Lottie B. I know you click on you, but I didn't see you here, but hello, Lottie, and everybody. We have so many talented people, in tarot and divination. It fans out. I mean, it's within ourselves because a lot of reading can also be intuitive as well, and that includes the art. So we have Tony who does jewelry. We have Lottie B. She doesn't do readings, at least on YouTube. I don't know what she does in her private space, but Lottie is an accomplished pianist. Be sure to check out her channel and all her beautiful piano renditions and covers that she does. And saying howdy to Kay and all of you. So making sure I didn't miss anybody else. I'm super busy. Oh no, super duper lazy. I need to make some pieces, but mostly for myself these days. Yeah, I hear you, girl. I do. So, alrighty. Okay, so notes on the Scorpio new moon. So Scorpio is about being passionate, resourceful, focused, deep, and perceptive. My papa was a Scorpio. And I believe Mr. Early Ritual is also a Scorpio because his birthday is right after my daddy's. Thanks, Heather. Maybe one day readings on YouTube. And then Lottie, you'll have to come on and we'll hang out. You can tell us about your tarot journey, your musical journey. I would love that. I used to play several instruments. So again, it just shows how, the very intuitive, creative people have all these beautiful other expressions of self and creativity. Gerald is a Scorpio too. Ah, I see. And you are too, my dear. That's right, because you got a birthday next week or this Friday. Oh, wow. We got a lot of Scorpios. Awesome. Because you know me, I love talking about music. Gets me into trouble sometimes, but you know what? When you're passionate about something, share with us, Kristen, and happy birthday. Papa's got a brand new bag. Oh, not all I can see is James Brown doing his little, So, resourceful, deep, and perceptive. Intimacy, control. My dad was very much like that, kind of control. Sometimes a little power over, I remember, but my dad was always very resourceful. He was focused. He had the same 2 jobs for 40 years. Made sure to take care of, our needs were met. My mom left my dad starting in 84. So my relationship with my dad, I really didn't really have one. But now, all these years later, we've reconciled. And so I'm learning more about my dad and people in my life and I have several Scorpio placements. So a lot of this makes sense. There's intimacy, control, power, and money. And sharing will be a strong focus in the upcoming weeks. So with the Scorpio and new moon, focusing on money and of course Black Friday, coming up for everybody in the holidays. No brainer right there. New beginnings and fresh starts are possible in this area. So, committing to personal goals. This is a great time. We already have the new moon, and it's all, it's a wonderful time to kind of go within, release, what no longer serves us, get rid of that, what negativity we can, doing deep, shadow work. And the shadow work doesn't always have to be heavy, it could be just things that we know that we kind of need to work on, get rid of our, in our lives. Maybe send a lot of that negative energy into maybe some stones or crystals, which we can give back to Mother Earth to absorb and transform and transmute into something positive for her. Um, so so this is a good time for committing to personal goals, self mastery skills. So a good time to maybe new projects, especially for us creatives like Lottie and Tony and myself, and for other people who do arts and things, no matter, or crafts, doesn't matter, whatever our creative expression is. This is a good time to use the new moon to let go of the old and start planting seeds and ideas for something new to start working on and to creating. It says here, pinpoint those things in our lives that make us feel out of control, such as addictions, debts, releasing emotional burdens. And as I was reading that and writing it down, so again, this energy from the tarot, the devil card, releasing things that make us feel out of control, our addictions, whether it's to overspending, eating the wrong food, not getting enough sleep, or indulging in some vices that we may have, and releasing those emotional burdens. And that sensation of having to take control, getting control again of our lives, very much the chariot card as well. So I'm going to take a quick break here from the notes. And so there, oh my goodness, all the links. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Music is a great vibration to change up the atmosphere. You got it. I got playlists with different types of music on it. And depending on my mood, getting ready for a show like Friday, I like to listen to my 80s, getting ready before a show here. Sometimes if it's earlier in the day, I've got my ambient music on, like Enya and Lorena McKennitt and, others. So it's, music really helps us get into, you know, into a certain mindset that we will need. I will be on live with Jackie. I didn't know you do readings, girl. Oh my God, Jackie, you have to come and hang out with me. Oh my God, that's awesome. I love how our community is growing and expanding. I mean, we're, coming into Sagittarius too, Jupiter ruled, and Jupiter's all about growth and expansion. So we are really spreading those wings, guys and gals, Roman's doing it. Jackie's going to be doing it. Lottie B's getting, I mean, this is amazing. I love this. Love, love, love this. Let's see. Kristen said, my friend bought me a Marseille deck. I guess I need to learn how to read with Marseille now. I never, connected with Marseille. Um, and I don't know if Marseille is the same as, decks that are pip decks. I mean, people who create their own images using, the pip idea. I don't know if that's still considered Marseille based or not, but I mean, there's so many. I want to learn more about Lenormand. That whole, Lenormand spread that you do, the Grand Tableau. It seems very overwhelming, but oh, it would be so cool to be able to learn that. And I know, isn't that awesome? So, Jackie, email me. I would love to have you on. We can hang out on a Friday night or something. Totally laid back. Yes, for sharing your talents. Let's see what we got here. You will love it. It will transform your reading. So everyone talking low key, almost want to buy a second squid cake deck. I got one for Aster, but it's so cute. I think I want one too. The Marseille squid cake deck. Oh, when I see squid cake, I'm like, I'd rather have a chocolate cake, but I digress. But I know you sent me the picture of that. Let's see. It is done by Bella International on Prime Music or Spotify. This is a great tune for manifesting, totally crushing on it this month. It is done by Bella International. I'll have to look that up. Very cool. I like getting into new music. Sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. That was a Bon Jovi song too. Proving it isn't 1999. It isn't 99 the shade I might sleep. Yay! Awesome, Jackie. Oh my goodness. Now there'll be another Jackie. Remember that day when Jackie Jacaranda, Jackie's Crystal Moon, and Jackie Jan was in the chat, and Jackie's Crystal Moon was like, wow, wait a minute. My God, there's way too many Jackies in this chat. So it'll be fun, but more room. So let's see. Marseille and Pips are different. Thank you, Beth. And woo, Heather, yes, I could see you doing Lenormand. You've always struck me as a Lenormand girl. I just have to find the right Lenormand deck. There is a couple of really nice Yuletide ones that I've got my eyes on right now. But most of the decks that are on mass market, Beth, they just do not resonate with me. The only one that did was the Victorian Gilded Reverie by Marchetti. Now, there's a lot of cool ones on Etsy, but that's when you got to spend the money, and a lot of those shops are overseas, and now because of the tariffs, it's going to make it a little bit more expensive to get some of those decks that I want. Life is a work in progress. It sure is, girl. It's kawaii. So yeah, I'm not. You know what? That would probably be something Magus would be interested in, because if I'm correct, kawaii is anime. I don't do anime, but I know Magus is very much into anime. Oh, and there's Magus. Wonderful. I'm making today's YouTube video on Poppy Palin, and I'm already crying, but it made me think how important it is what you do here, creating community and loving people. Well, thank you, Magus. And Magus had a beautiful saying today. And Magus, I'm going to share that here. And I might mess it up a little, because when I try to remember certain things, I sometimes transpose. But make your life, no, your prayer is your life, or make your life your prayer. And I thought, oh my God, that is so beautiful. So definitely check out Magus's new tarot channel. Check out Anna Kate. I think I did, but I'll look at that again. Oh, I said it perfect. First time, second time. So yes, I remember waking up and turning on YouTube and seeing her videos just posted. I just saw a larger than normal Lenormand somewhere. It looked, there's one on Etsy. Before I get back into the notes, I'm gonna have to take a quick sip, because I do have a kipper. I have Marchetti's kipper, and this kipper was done in the 1920s Art Nouveau style. And one of these days, I'm going to get that. I absolutely love that. I know I had past lives somewhere around the turn of the century, maybe connecting to my ancestors too that were around in that time. But I just love that artwork. So getting on here a little bit further. So explore, okay, getting back to new moon in Scorpio, exploring what is missing in our lives, and which leads us to discovering what our self-destructive behaviors are and how we can work through them and to heal them. One of Scorpio's deep lessons is to dig deeper into mysteries that are around us, not always going for the status quo. So, learning, because again, like here, this is a perfect example. We all come from different spiritual practices. Magus is Zoroastrian, Magi. Their main spiritual head is a male. For me, mine is male and female. For some, it's all about archetype. I mean, we all come from different spiritual paths, but by learning about others, though, and learning about others' mysteries and their spiritual beliefs, it doesn't mean that we have to change ours, but we get to explore, and we don't always go and jump on like the bandwagon of what people think or say. We watch, we learn, we listen, we resonate, we take what we feel is right for us and apply that to our spirituality. That's why I don't like mainstream religion, just because there's a strict dogma you have to follow, where spirituality is so beautiful and so fluid. And my ADHD makes it a game. So I see we got other conversations. I looked up and saw ADHD. I know sometimes I might go on that and go off um, script a little bit. Bell, a poke for me. Ooh, I'm going to look up all this, you guys. Ranga George. Lenormand is now a mass market deck. Okay. Boy, if y'all can send me these names and or links in my email, that would be great, and I can start researching on those. Alrighty, so where else can we go? So take time to understand others, especially if they don't quite, again, believe what we do. And this goes on the whole gamut of not just spirituality, but, you know, even the ones that, really grind at us, and we know that what they're saying is offensive and vulgar and hateful. Try to have an understanding of where they were brought up, what was their environment like, what were they exposed to, and their ancestors before them, what was their life like, what experience did they go through that makes them, feel a particular way, and try to just find ways to try to just understand. And if you can't understand, then maybe just hold space and send them some light. That would be great. I mean, it's hard for, it's easier said than done. I get it. So again, another aspect which I absolutely love is quality over quantity in our friendships and our relationships. So at this time, really sitting back, especially with new moon, going into meditation and sitting with and feeling who really belongs to be in my life, who really, um, deserves to, be in my presence, or have my loyalty, have my love, have my friendship. Are they true? Is their love unconditional? Is it authentic? Because as I've learned over the last 6, 7 months or so, that you know, that type of friendship can be very fluid for some. And so, when you ask the universe to have people only in your life that are only there, that are meant for your highest good and for your, yeah, for your highest good in all aspects of life, the universe will listen. And it did. And sometimes so having to let go of those relationships are very difficult. So new moons are also help us to be able to sit down and maybe do a ritual, writing, notes or letters that to people that we have to let go of, that have hurt us, either, if they're in spirit or if they're still here on earth, and sit in, with maybe that flame, sitting in the darkness and reading these letters or poems. And if you, want to, writing them down on a bay leaf or on a piece of paper and putting them in a fire safe cauldron or container to let that burn and give to the universe. So lots of different ways of doing that. But yes, quality over quantity in friendships. Use this time to focus on, one special project. Also, community can be a bit gaseous. Yeah, a little stinker. Um, oh my goodness. I will catch up with chat. I just want to finish the last couple lines here. So this is a good time to focus on one special project, because I know me, like a lot of you probably, it's that 7 of Cups. It's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to explore. And sometimes we get where it's so overwhelming that we shut down and we don't do anything. So maybe sitting on this new moon with maybe different projects that you want to do, things you want to accomplish, and just kind of feeling which one, no more than maybe two, that really feel like you are drawn to the most, and focus on that one for this at this time. This is also seeking ways to release our fears of confrontation and heavy emotional situations to help heal post trauma, although it may cause discomfort. So, this new moon sitting with our discomfort, not letting it take over us and bind us, like the Devil card would, but to sit there, acknowledge it, and say, okay, These feelings are valid, but right now they're no longer valid for me at this time. And put them in the box and set them aside, but acknowledging them, acknowledging our emotions, and kind of sitting with that discomfort for a while, and maybe to even journal again or write poetry to be able to help to release that. Mercury retrograde can possibly cause making our paths more difficult to see, but can motivate new beginnings. So, this Mercury retrograde, again, taking the step back, because this is a time where, we can be a bit rebellious. I know there was something down here. Yeah, opposition, because right now, Scorpio is in opposition to Uranus. And I wanted to write that down because it says to watch out for prematurity or abrupt changes or rebellion, especially during a retrograde. Being very careful on what you say when you send text. Make sure if you have something to say, make sure it's going to the right person, watching, what you communicate to others. If something doesn't feel right, saying something at a certain time, maybe wait till, retrograde is over. So really listening and sitting with yourself and saying, should I say this now? Should I hold my peace? So again, communications, technology, it's great help for us, but sometimes we don't use it properly, it bites us back. And a minute when I saw rebellion, I automatically thought of you, Jax. So those were the notes. And for today's card pulls, I'm going to use Nina Khan. I believe she was the one from bustle.com. I quoted her, and that's going to be our question for card pulls is what so she says here, accept your past to create your future. And so the way I worded it was, what can I accept from my past that will help me create my future? So let me set this aside. Let me do a quick sip here. We'll start checking out the chat, as Ryan used to say. Alrighty. I never met Jackie before joining YouTube. And Jackie, I don't know how I met you on the new channel. I didn't meet you on the old one, I don't think. So let me just get caught up. Let's see. Anna K. All right, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Putting up the links. Thank you, my dear. I was thinking of starting a homeless person channel. Irene, wow. Now that's something, this new moon, because that new moon energy is several days before and several days after. So this is a great time to grab a sheet of paper or your journal or something and just kind of start jotting ideas down, even, feelings or thoughts, and seeing where that takes you. That's amazing. Okay, there's the community. Yeah, gotcha. Let's see. Kate, there are Marseille, and then there are Marseille. They each carry their own myth. Most pip decks are unimaginative and rely solely on the numerology. The design, ornament, and placement is critical. And Roman's got a lot of decks, so he's probably very well studied up on them. Speaking of poems, yes, the Sunday. Thank you. So everybody remembers that I will still do Mystic Poet Society, but Miss Karen, Care Bear Bard of Cards, is taking a little bit of a break. But when she's ready, and I can get maybe somebody else to join us, we'll be doing the Mystic Poet Society again. But right now, with it just being me, it's going to be Indigo Poetica, and I'm going to be doing again the poetry and the readings, and working on some ideas for that this Sunday. Let's see. I still have laryngitis. Oh my goodness, girl. Rest that voice. If you can, honey, with a little bit of tea, if you can. Let's see. Or else you would have started before. There's a guy, his whole channel is stuff his absent father didn't teach him, like shaving, etc. There's someone who wants to know the tips. There's something for everyone out there, most definitely. Alrighty, so, well, what I was supposed to do when I started the show was do this, because it's new moon in Scorpio. So right now, here is the question. So what I need to accept from my past to create my future. And that was based on again, the quote by Nina Khan from bustle.com. Accept your past to create your future. So I have my crystal deck with me. I have my talisman oracle, and I also have my um, uh, Mind's Eye Tarot, my Olivia Rose deck. So, anybody who would like that reading for the new moon, I see your comment here pop up. So, I got you, Kristen, because you had to leave yesterday. So definitely you will be number one because you're still the one. Do, do, do. So you know Heather, how she goes into the. I got to do a music show too. Yes, Roman. Too hot isn't good. I sub to your channel, Jackie. Oh, I have to go find Jackie's channel. Lukewarm water, salt for the best cure for throat. There you go. He's got the know-how. He used to have quite the history. With working in the labs and stuff. So awesome. So Jackie, Kristen, Jackie, of course, Jackson, Jackie. You're always on top of each other. Tony, would you like one? I know you are in the UK, so it's probably getting late with you. But if you want one, I can fit you in right under Kristen. I just gotta beat thrift books. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty, yay. So, because Tony's in the UK, it's getting late over there. Do Kristen, Tony, Jackie, and Jax. And let's see. Hey, Weird Al lives rent free. Oh my, that's scary. I actually saw him twice in person, but I digress. That'll be for another day. Okay, so Kristen, what do I have to accept from my past to create my future? So we're going to start with a talisman. This is so cool, Tony. I think this might be the first time, although we've been we've been in and out of each other's lives, because I think there were a couple of lives I might have done with Gerald back in the day, because I really don't get to read with Gerald anymore. Where I think we might have done cards for you, but and Lottie, if you want one, please let me know too. Let's see. Roman says try. Oh, I'll let that and put that in there. And again, for YouTube, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please seek professional advice in all matters. Really, I would say. Okay, so Kristen, what do I need to accept from my past to create my future? I just thought that was a really powerful quote. Alrighty, and let's get a Olivia Rose. What does Kristen need to accept from her past to create her future? I'm going to do a top and a bottom. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to grab the book for that because I love different authors and I don't do reversals. And a reversal showed up. And I usually keep my cards all up in the upright position. And then a crystal. Things Heather would do, but it's nearly, oh, your bedtime. Oh, Lottie, so you're across the pond as well. Alrighty, my dear. Well, thank you for popping in. Have you heard the new lingo? Watch where you point your what? Where you point your Gerald. It's all the oh my God. The crystal that can help Chris. And the crystal that can help Kristen. Say that fast a couple of times, Kristen. That can help her release her past. Alrighty, so let's grab the talisman book because they provide an affirmation. So let's get to So, first card, Kristen, what you have to accept from your past to create your future. I got the intuition card. And before reading the book, what I'm feeling like this in connection with the question is that and this is something that could possibly resonate, this is what will resonate with you, is that there are times when we thought we listened to our intuition and we listened, when we listened to our intuition and then it didn't end up being that it was not the right decision to make. So this kind of, so sometimes, past mistakes, when we think we're following our intuition or understanding our intuition, and then when we think it doesn't work or it backfires, and then we start to fear our intuition and not listen to it. So just automatically, what I need to accept from my past is maybe listening to the intuition, maybe when you didn't, when you know you should have, and you went and made a different decision. Those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, that's something that now needs to be a part of the past. We learn from that, and to create my future is really learning to trust, start trusting again in our intuition. And it says here, you are wide awake and able to perceive a higher level awareness that helps you recognize secrets and subconscious intentions. And this is all, new moon energy work, shadow work. Um, and this is a beetle that's on the card. The intuitive beetle is using the third eye gate to see through the prism of distortion. So there's the prism and seeing through to the eye of distortion. The answers you are seeking will come from within, from your divine knowledge and inner wisdom. So, very much like a high priestess card. And the affirmation is, unless there's something else that wants to. So, it says here, allow time and space to practice putting your newly found feelings into words, but know that your present situation will benefit significantly from your keen intuition. So, again, what if we didn't listen to our intuition, and if we thought we did and things didn't turn out the way we wanted them to, it's something that we have to learn how to accept and not stop learning how to trust and develop listening to our intuition. I am awake and I see. That is your affirmation for that. And now with your tarot cards, I got the Eight of Pentacles, which is perfect because right now the Eight of Pentacles is about honing your skill. And just like the new moon, it says fixating on a project, staying focused, and working on this project goal or skill. So perfect. Eight of Pentacles, making sure that you stay on track, you stay focused. This is something that is already in your awares. This is the conscious card. And so it looks like you're already starting to learn how to trust that intuition, and you are working on that and working on, of course, new projects in your life with going to those tarot reading festivals and things and doing your classes and teaching. So you have a lot of wonderful things that you are working on, that you're focusing on. And now's the time to maybe pick one and work and focus on that. So let me just, I know there's a lot of things. Perfect card. I'm wanting to learn how to do collage art. Canva, they got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of things you see on the market now, especially through Etsy, a lot of that is done with all the imagery and images and photographs and graphics and things and stuff that you can get when you get full on Canva. It's very cool. So your underlying energy is the Wheel of Fortune, but it's in reversed. And I typically don't do reversals, but let's see what Olivia has to say about the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Do, 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 do. I like anyways reading what so disorder, failure, powerlessness, and setbacks. So the underlying energy is that you feel like things are not turning in the direction or in your favor that you would like to see. They're, coming from the past. When it says disorders, and of course disorders can be things that maybe, eating. I'm not saying this is you, but when we talk about disorders, maybe physical disorders, emotional disorders, disorders from people in our life that cause, disorder and chaos in our lives. But feelings of failure, powerlessness, setbacks, and you've shared a lot with us during lives, and even in your videos that you do about your mom's death and things in life where you felt powerless to change things, or maybe again connecting with the intuition. Well, maybe I listened to the intuition wrong, maybe I made the wrong decisions, maybe and again, this is something that we need to during this new moon really take a look. And if you really write down everything, this is what I'm saying, if you write down everything that you see that was a failure, or what you felt was a setback, or you felt that was disordered, see where you were though, see what you were going through, and at the same time see how you've managed yourself through that. The resiliency, you may, the having to be flexible, having to be patient, having to take care of not just your family's needs, but your mom's needs, and then your emotional needs. So I just think this is a really beautiful reading, acknowledging the traumas and things that we've been through are actually a lot of times our powers, our power tools that we can use again to create, the new future moving forward. And your crystal is cinnabar, and it's about business and the sacral chakra. So again, business, tarot, um, whoever your regular day job is, focusing on business. And also when we talk about the sacral chakra, that is again, our lower chakra, where we deal with our passions, our sacral. Let me see here. We deal with our passions, our creativity, um, gaining that motivation, that energy. And I know that you have certain physical things that you deal with, that I believe you mentioned the fatigue and whatnot. So maybe gaining like cinnabar, and to be careful too with cinnabar, because it can be toxic. If swallowed, digested, put in water or something, which I know you're not going to do. But cinnabar was recommended to come through. And let's just take a quick look, because let's see if they might have suggested something that I didn't think of. Um, so this is about career change, starting a new hobby. So this is the stone to get you motivated. Um, yeah, positive energy and abundance is coming your way, my dear. And if you feel like it's not because of that stuck wheel of fortune, maybe getting a piece of cinnabar if you can, or even getting an image of it and meditating with it and wanting to put that energy and manifest something different business wise. Um, yeah, that's there for you. So, alrighty, let's see. Why is my mouse getting stuck here? And why is it not cooperating? Let's see. So, did you get snow? Okay, so I want to make sure I knew where I was. Oh, having snow, yeah, where I'm at, we're having a late fall, and we probably won't get snow till maybe sometime, maybe a dusting in December, January. It's easy to confuse fear with intuition. Yes, exactly. Ooh, freezing, huh? Oh no. Let's see. Talked about snow. Let's see. Perfect card. I wanted to learn how to do collage art. Awesome. Okay, so I got caught up with that. Talking about the weather. Yeah, people too out here, shorts, even in Buffalo, where I'm from, there'll be snowing out and you'll still find guys out, and they'll have a sweatshirt on, but they'll be wearing shorts, you know. Irene, I'm actually Scottish, but been in Canada for a long while. Okay. I bet you got one of those beautiful Scottish brogues, huh, my dear? And she's like, well, that explains it. Okay, I'm just looking to see. Kristen, there we go. I've been deprioritizing my tarot business. I need to get recentered with it. we all are guilty of not thinking we're good enough. We compare ourselves to other readers. I still do it myself. Like when I read with you, some of the way you articulate the cards using certain words and stuff that I don't typically use in my vocabulary, I'm like, damn, I love how she articulates this card's meaning and the use of the words. So for me, I get it. We are all good readers. I don't know if it's something that you may not feel like, you're a good reader, but girl, you are. So if that is any doubt at all, then um, Nancy's when we've read together, she says Kristen's an amazing reader, and we read with Roman last Friday, and a lot of our messages were on point. Um, and they were like the same messages, but given different ways with different language and articulation. And so, again, if that tarot business is something that you really love to do and you want to do, then maybe starting this new moon, that choose that as your creative project to focus on and see if she can get inspired. See, Rona says she is good reader. She's blushing. I blush too. Let's see. I see little arrows pointing up here. Beth said, "We all have strengths and talents. I think the trick is to find your own voice and lean into it. It's your path." Okay, we're done. Bye, everybody. No. But yeah, exactly. Beth nailed it. Let's see. Wait a minute. What? We're just. Oh, here. Oh my God. I click on something. Okay, so Marie, I'm going to Marie. I'm going to play a little tough love here, my dear. You asked this question yesterday. I pulled a couple cards for you. The question was answered in a way that I could answer it. I understand that you've been to several other channels asking the question, so this question has been asked, and I'm assuming has been answered multiple times. So I am not going to acknowledge this, and we're not doing private readings, personal readings today, my dear. Sometimes when we keep asking the same question over and over again and expecting a different answer, that sometimes that will make the universe, kind of do a backlash. And because we're not listening to the message that's already been given to us, it's like, well, if you're not listening to my message, then why, I'm not going to, be able to do the energy, like universal energy likewise. So when you keep asking the same question over and over from different people, expecting a different answer, that's just, it just doesn't make sense, my dear. And I'm not going to pull cards on that. So, not trying to be mean, honey, just a little bit of tough love. So, just going to let you know that moving forward. So, let's see, did I miss any other? You understood Cinnabon. Yeah, I know. You can eat Cinnabons, but you can't eat Cinnabar. Um, and sometimes you do have to take a rest. Yes, exactly. All righty. Let me see if I can catch up here. Let's see. Okay, so next up is Tony. All right, Tony, let's get you going, girl. All righty. Tony, as Tony's in the UK, I'm going to get her going next. So, Tony, what does Tony need to accept from her past to create her future? Okay. Okay, wow, that just jumped right out. Okay, so 3 came out from there. Let's get you your crystal card. Now with the Cinnabon, now I'm hearing the Ricky Martin song, "Shake Your Bon Bon, Shake Your Bon Bon, Shake Your Bon Bon." Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I need to accept from my past to create my future. So, your talisman card before I open the book, Tony, is union. So, this feels like this has to do with a relationship, something that was very close, something that was very intimate, whether it was a physical, sexual, intimate, loving, love relationship, or something where it was a close union with a friendship, a deep bond. Um, and or with family. And so we're looking at the union card, and there's the little, is that a little heart? Sometimes it looks like a heart on the screen. It's a diamond, but, and again, we have something that looks also like the yin and yang, the balancing of the masculine and feminine. So this union can also be integrating both our masculine and feminine sides within us to bring that sense of balance and equilibrium. So let's see what they have to say and what your affirmation is from the card. Doo, 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 doo. So a card represents wholeness, unity, and fulfillment. Um, it can represent friendship, teamwork, or partnership that we covered. It's not essential to master every skill, talent, or knowledge because our unity with like minded people can bring the best end results. So, this is also about not being afraid of asking others to help us develop our skills. Or if we have something that we want to create, but we may not have that particular skill, they bring that to the fold, they bring that to the mix, you know, um, that helps create the special sauce. The card teaches us to trust others in their area of expertise. So your affirmation is we are stronger together. So what we have to accept from our past is that maybe we let go of a union like this. Maybe we lost a partnership again, a friendship, people in our past that no longer are with us now, that we, we're no longer connected to them. We don't have that union. Or this again could be learning to looking at the past and saying, well, I missed that opportunity, I didn't grab onto that when this person offered help, but now these things are now in the past. We can learn from them and we can move forward and open and be open to allowing new people to come into our circle that can help um, help not make us whole or fulfill us, but to help us become a even a better person, helping us. I'm looking for a certain word, Tony, and I cannot think of. It's like when you put a necklace together, finding all the right different beads, to make that one piece of necklace. Like one person may have made the focal point, one person might have made this type of wire, and you're getting all these beautiful things, and then you create your one piece with it, if that makes sense. I'm trying to figure out analogies to kind of get with what I'm getting that is not coming out, maybe, or I'm not articulating. But again, so we have union. So one of my names stands for diamond. Ooh, very cool. So when it comes to your tarot cards, what I need to accept from my past. So a card flipped out, but I'm going to go with that one aside for a second. So the Five of Pentacles. So this is saying that in past or recent past, there has been the sense of financial difficulty, a lack of feeling like there's a lack of stability due to lack of finances, um, maybe not feeling so secure, feeling isolated, being left out in the cold. So this can be a very painful emotion to deal with. And looking at the union, this could be having to deal with I'm still feeling like a possible close relationship that fell off or disintegrated, um, or I mean it might have been amicable, um, but it left that feeling of financial scarcity, concern, worry, isolation. The underlying card, though, Tony, is the Empress. So this is you, my dear. You are fertile with creativity, ideas. You're connected with the earth. I mean, you do jewelry. You connect with stones and crystals. You said something about something to do with diamonds. So This is all about you still have this gift. You are still connected to the earth. You're connected with your femininity, your intuition, your psychic abilities to be able to manifest in the physical what you can perceive or think of in the spiritual, the astral. She's kind of like feeling like the creative muse, just sitting there patiently waiting for you to tap into her again. And the card that flew out is the Hermit. So again, for the full moon, no, not full moon, for the new moon and going into the winter season, this is a beautiful time to go within and do some introspection, do some healing, do some, if you do journal work, but just really going within, meditating, and just kind of using that lantern. And I love letting the earth just in it's quiet right now, like being like the goddess asleep underneath the earth as we go into winter and learn and just like hibernating, dreaming, planting those seeds and following that light. And your crystal card is jade. So again, it's a good luck crystal, but look what it is. It's the heart chakra, my dear. So again, that I'm feeling more like this union was something that was very close, very bonded on a very, you know, intimate level. Um, and it may be that that Five of Pentacles has been keeping you from maybe also opening your heart or being afraid to express your love for maybe others or maybe even yourself. But again, it's the green, it's the earth, like the Empress. Green as in also jade could be good too for money spells. So it's like healing the heart, feeling that a sense of security, stability again, and maybe in your relationships within your own self, your own artistic ability, and what you create. But now is a beautiful time to just to reflect and go within and follow that inner light. So, bye, Kristen. Thanks for popping in, my dear. And that's what I have for you, Tony. Thank you for letting me read for you. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I ever have. So this is awesome sauce, and thank you everybody too for letting me read for you. It's nice when I get somebody I haven't read for before or haven't in a long time, and kind of make sure that I'm able to read. Because when we know each other, we kind of see where the cards are going and what the message is. But when it's somebody that you don't really read for and you realize you connect on some level, that's coming through, it feels amazing. So Heather will be quiet. She says, "Yep, that's me." Okay. Let me see if there was something else because we were mentioning. Nope, there is more. Okay. All right. Are those rhinos? Yes, Kristen, those are rhinos. Yay! Irene subbed to Tony's channel and she says, "One of my names stands for diamond." I love that. The hardest substance on the earth. But don't be too hard. Open that heart chakra a little there, a bit much. Show others and yourself some love. Oh my goodness, everybody's not. We got more subscribers for you. That's amazing. Aw. Fusion, cohesion. Okay. A lack of diamonds. Yeah. And again, yep, that's me. That's what I look like at 3 a.m. Oh boy. You guys, reconnecting with the elements this month. Okay, reconnecting with okay, doing that connection. Okay, that's good. Is this the Mind's Eye Tarot or Mermaid's Purse? This is the Mind's Eye Tarot. Um, Olivia actually popped in my chat yesterday because she uh, talks to Roman, and she popped in to say hi. The Mermaid's Purse, I believe, she has reissued, but I think through her website. Um, but I saw that at the store yesterday, and um, just was immediately drawn to it. I mean, there's some images that I don't resonate with, or I wouldn't typically resonate with, but I just absolutely love most of the color, the palette, the energy. It's very, very lovely. Let's see. Thank you. Love to hear. Definitely got breadcrumbs to follow. Okay. Well, as long as they resonate with you and I hit, a few points, that is awesome. So, yay. Now, why am I getting, because I'm not using my keyboard. So, Jackie, you are up next. I'm going to take a quick sip. Man, I haven't been to Deanne's channel in a long time. I got to find Deanne. She's the one that started in our community, the Sip a couple of years ago. So, Jackie, what I need to accept from my past to create my future. Thanks, Jax. Whoa. I like it when they jump. That's a good sign. Okay. Does Jackie need to accept from her past to create her future? Okay. And the crystal to help her do it. Yeah, Irene, that's how Allison used to read. When she would do her videos and her reading, she would shuffle, and boom, cards would just fly out, and she grabbed them, put them down. I mean, it's amazing. They don't happen too often, but what they do, I'm like, oh, yep, that needs to stay. Ooh, we're getting lots of greens today, not earthy messages. So my feed is shocking. YouTube doesn't notify or show peeps I subscribe to. It is annoying. I don't have too many problems with that. Sometimes I have to unsubscribe from some people just because I don't necessarily follow a lot of the shows that they do. And my notifications through subscriptions and stuff, I just get an is it implosion or explosion of just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I look at to see how many subscribers they have, and I'm like, okay, me leaving isn't going to hurt their numbers. I'll unsubscribe for a while and just kind of wait. Especially with more and more people in our community, I sometimes have to pick and choose. But I'm sorry that I hear a lot of people are having issues with YouTube not sending their notifications. Jackie, what I need to accept from my past to create my future. Divine guidance. And we got the frog and the dragonfly, and it looks like that frog is nabbing that dragonfly. But just looking at the card, perhaps in the past you didn't maybe listen or pay attention to divine guidance that you were receiving. And from what I'm looking at some of these other cards, it might be because it was something that wasn't what you wanted to follow, what you wanted to pursue, may not would have been would have caused a problem with relationships, may have caused some disparity with them. And so looking back on our past, oh, I should have listened to that, that niggle, that divine guidance. I should have this. And again, when it comes to our past, those shoulda, coulda, wouldas really get to us. And I do the same thing. At least once a day, I have a shoulda, coulda, or woulda, and then I'm like, okay, set it aside. But we're going to look at your the description, your affirmation right now. But what I need to accept from my past, maybe the divine guidance that you received and you didn't follow. But again, every day is a new day to. Wait a minute, that's not the right book. Every day is a brand new day to start. So, divine guidance. Your affirmation is I am patient. Interesting. So it's best to watch out for a sign before moving forward. Um, this is interesting. You're ready to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, but don't decide to embrace any one aspect of your life just yet. Wait for some more information to emerge before making a choice. I'm thinking that with the way the word question is worded, that it was presented, but there was a hesitation, and that you didn't listen to that intuition and jump on that immediately. Um, but moving forward, looking at how can I use that to create, you know, um, your life moving forward, your future, is now that you're able to do that, you can do it with a rational mind, reading the signs carefully and trusting your instincts. So again, this is all going to trusting our intuition, and paying attention, especially if we ask for signs and ask for divine guidance. And it says, although it may be frustrating to wait, proceeding when the time is right will be much more rewarding. So taking a look at the divine guidance, maybe not listening to it or following it in the past, but now learning from the past, moving forward, now I can listen to it. I can be patient. I can wait for the signs that when I ask for them, and I'm not rushing ahead in. So that is your divine guidance card from the Talisman Oracle. So looking at your tarot, overall energy on top, what you're feeling right now is a Ten of Cups. So again, the cups of not just about love, but it's also about our emotions, our creativity, our intuition. So this beautiful Ten of Cups is that celebration. There are more people, I think, now that you can feel more comfortable in following that divine guidance. It is bringing more people of like mind into your circle, people that fulfill you, that celebrate with you. There's just a very beautiful sense of happiness, and again, connecting to your intuition, your creativity, um, and sharing that with others. And no, this isn't Jax. This is Jackie. Um, so your underlying energy, though, right now, Jackie, is the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is you're feeling like, because of possibly individuals, you know, in your past, and or maybe certain circumstances or situations, you feel that you have to stand up for yourself. You have to create boundaries. This is you taking that wands. It's you're holding it, you're standing your ground basically, and you are going to keep aiming that wand and following that inspiration. You're going to channel that power of yours. You're going to manifest and direct, while holding your space, despite people coming at you and saying, well, maybe this isn't a good idea. What are you whatever that negative is. This could even maybe possibly be self-talk. This could be very well creating mental boundaries with negative talking that you do to yourself. But right now, whatever you feel like you need to set boundaries, do that, and continue following that beautiful divine guidance. And your crystal card, my dear, is Peridot. It's all about teaching and heart chakra. So maybe moving forward, teaching what you have learned, what you have experienced. What I need to accept from my past is teaching you how to move forward in the future, and expressing the love that you have for yourself and your passions, and for those who are in your circle that support your dreams, your goals, your interests. So um, peridot is one of my favorite. I have a tiny, tiny little faceted peridot. I have to attach that to something at some point. But peridot is all about opening that heart chakra and just allowing that beautiful love to come through that you have for others, for yourself, and maybe using that as part of your Seven of Wands. This is I'm standing my ground. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love others. I'm going to, I'm going to teach them what I have learned. I'm going to let my past maybe and past mistakes or past lessons, so say mistakes, past lessons, and how I can, teach myself moving forward, and teach others or lead by example. And that Seven of Wands just really keeps coming up, Jackie. Just really keeping those boundaries, standing for yourself, your beliefs, and wanting to move forward. She's got her wand pointing up. It's touching the stars. And they're almost kind of like trying to knock it out. And you're like, no, I am staying, focused. Again, new moon energy in Scorpio, staying focused, standing your ground, and keep believing in yourself and not let people cross that line and take advantage. Peridot is a gorgeous luminous gem. I mean, the pictures that they chose for this deck is just really beautiful, Tony. I'm just surprised they left out Moldavite. I was like, wait a minute, there's no Moldavite in this deck. So, but yeah, a couple crystals or stones they left out. But that's your reading, Jackie. I'm sorry if there was a confusion between Jax or Jackie, but this was Jackie. And Jax will be next. She'll be my last read. Oh, we're talking about Weird Al again. Every time I see the A, I think you're talking about AI. And then I see, what's Weird AI? And then I'm like, oh, not like artificial intelligence. Oh, sometimes it takes Heather a minute to catch up, Irene. Alrighty. So, Jackie, I hope you didn't miss your reading. Oh, so there was I hope I didn't say Jax. I'm pretty sure I thought I said Jackie. Sounds like me shuffling a ring for myself. Every day is a winding road. Yep. Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer. That was her first two albums. Her first three albums were just phenomenal. I mean, she's still a good musician and everything. I just, change of music. I like Cheryl's early stuff. Same thing with like Paula Cole. Let's see. I guess I'm just stuck in my 20s in the 90s. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So up next is Jax. Jumpin' Jack. Jumpin' Jax. Jumpin' Jax Flash. So, I pulled the tarot first. Okay, well. What does Jax need to accept from her past to create her future? Tarot wants to start first, then Tarot will start first. Ooh. Facing them demons, girl. And thank you everybody for being here. And oh my God, Tony, it was such a blast to have you here. See, I've dropped down, but I still got 6 peeps in the chat. So thanks for, yep, she's a gas. Okay, Jax, what does she need to accept from her past to create her future? Oh, girl, like I said, every reading. It's one of my favorite cards, so the image is cool. So we got 2 swords already. So crystal to help Jax. Can she accept from her past to create her future? Ooh, okay. So, Jax, what do I need to accept from my past to create your future? Exactly what you're doing right now. You're cutting ties, girl. Taking that proverbial sword, that allegorical, not literal, because that would not be a good idea. That would be tapping into getting involved in that rebelliousness of the Scorpio energy right now, with the Mars and the Mars and Pluto. But cutting ties, doing those energetic bind cuts, that are still bound to you. So releasing from your past, those relationships that no longer serve you, they stay in the past. Moving forward, you will know who are the right people. You will have, I want to say, like a clean slate energetically when you cut all the negative people. I mean, there are going to be people that have to be in our lives that are negative, for us to have to deal with them because of other people but it's just the, the idea of, what no longer serves you, and sometimes those ties that we have cut in the past, maybe bridges we have burned, that we kind of regret that we did, that maybe we shouldn't have, that could have been helpful in the present. But again, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, we have to like look past that and look at the ones that are meant to be, to help us move forward and, in our present moment and moving forward in our future. So taking that sword and cutting those ties, and let's see what the affirmation is and see if there's anything additional. um Alrighty. You are at the end of a path with a person, situation, or a memory that has drained your energy long enough. It's time to cut ties with what holds you back and venture back into the world to find new opportunities. That's all I have to read. It goes on and on. Good night, Tony. Thanks for being here, my dear. And I hope you don't mind me calling you Tony. It's habit. So, Antoinette, Tony, have a good night, my dear. It was such a pleasure to read for you. The two circles in the card represent the two reins of attachment, emotional and intellectual. Picture the knife cutting through both reins and release them and yourself. They also include a talisman power for this deck, and I haven't been drawn to read from it, but it says here this is good. And actually, I think this is good because it's new moon for all of us. This is a time for when we cut things from our lives that are no longer healthy, whether that they be certain habits, people, ways of thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and read this talisman power, and maybe we can incorporate that into this new moon energy. And it says use this card when you feel, and I'm going to do is, can you see it? No. What I'm going to do is there's a talisman that's on here that she enlarges, and then I'll hold that up to the screen if anybody wants to take a quick, screenshot on playback, if you want to incorporate that into any possible ritual you want to do tonight, or within the next couple days. So it says use this card when you feel you cannot remove yourself from the clutches of unpleasant situations. Visualize a rope holding you tightly. Take the knife and imagine cutting through all the loops with ease. Imagine taking a deep breath. That felt good. Taking a deep breath and the feeling of freedom. You are strong, powerful, and ready to move on. And the talisman and the affirmation is I cut this link in order to heal. So cheers to that. So here is the talisman right there. I'll hold that up for a second, and then on playback, I can take a picture if you want to incorporate that into any ritual you might want to do. So, Jax, moving on to your tarot. Okay, what do I have to accept from my past to create my future? So, your above card is the King of Swords. So, for me, this is you taking that sword. You are grounded. You know how to communicate what you will accept moving forward. You're very clear. You have clarity of what you will and will not accept. You have clarity of what you want in your life moving forward. You communicate that you try to, well, at least you try to communicate. No, you do communicate that clearly. Although there are going to be those who are going to be like, huh? Sometimes they don't get it or they don't want to, but you are standing in that place of groundedness where you can communicate. It's respectable. It's a respectable stance because you make it plain and clear. Um, you can take that knife like the other card. You can, cut through the BS. You can cut through the veils. You can see exactly what it is, and you are able to communicate and receive that guidance from your what? Really quick, your spirit guides. So we'll get to that in a second. And what's really cool about this, Jax, is the card that it's facing head on. Let's see if I can make this happen here. You're taking that sword to the devil, my dear. This is the light underlying energy is the devil card. And see how they're like facing each other on my table. Sorry, I know it's kind of hard to. So you are taking that sword and you are cutting away things that bind you that are unhealthy, and this is stuff too. This is stuff from the past because you shared stuff here in chat. Um, you have taken that sword. You are been very clear with yourself, those in your family that you love, and with your higher power and your guides. That with this devil card, I am going to cut those binds. I am not going to use any sort of substance. I am not going to abuse. You know, it's all about getting rid of those, cutting those demons out. You know what is your, what binds you, you know what you get bonded to, or what you feel, or others try to bind you with, but you are that king of swords. You know, it's, they talk about practicality with the swords, and that's just like, you know, this is you. And if you can see, it looks like smoke is coming out of the lips. So you speak, you communicate while holding that sword. um, oh my God, you know what just jumped into my head? My name is Ingla Montoya. You murdered my father. Prepare to die. Sorry, that just popped into my head. So you're taking that sword and you're going after those, you know, from the past. You know how you've been able to do that. You've dealt with those demons and those bondages, addictions in the past, and you are cutting a clear view of your future. And moving into the future, how can you help? You accept, in the past you accepted help, you know, eventually from your spirit guides. So moving into your creating your future, really connecting with the guides. You got the fluorite. It's a beautiful stone. It comes in all different shades and colors. I have multiple pieces, and this connects you to your third eye. But because of some of the blues that can be in mixed in with that fluorite, it can be part of, and with the green, so you've got like your heart chakra, you got your throat, and then you got your third eye. So your heart, you know, you're able to communicate, like with those swords you're able to communicate, um, through with your heart, and with your third eye you're able to bring into existence what it is that you want. You know, fluorite is awesome for healing as well, and again, it's that beautiful communication connection to your spirit guides. And so, if there's any time when you need help picking up that sword and having to revisit any of that devil energy, or vice energy, whether within yourself or with others, that King of Swords too can always be Archangel Michael as well, you know, or any deity that, you know, that, or goddess, God or goddess. I mean, when I see the swords, I think of the Morrigan now. You know, think of Kali. You know, think of those goddesses that, you know, can help get that sword and cut through and defend and protect. So that's what I have for you, girl. Boing, boing, boing. I don't know where the boing boing came from. Maybe just because with so many. Well, for me, this was. It seems like after a while, my blah, 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 your brain starts to melt. One, two, three. I have 4 readings, so that wasn't bad today. This was actually very. I'm wearing your fluorite. Well, there you go. Yeah, we love watching that movie, but that's got to be one of the best lines ever. As you wish, you know. So many wonderful, you know. Even though there were a lot of bad movies in the 80s and 90s, I just can't bear to watch ever again. There were some really good ones though too. So, oh my God, there goes my voice. Perseverance is key. All righty. Thank you, Irene. I think I do. I soldier on. The devil is in the details. Yes. And with that sword, that clear communication, paying attention to what you read, especially when it comes to legal. I know you got a lot of legal stuff going on too. So making sure you are checking. And if you have to ask questions to make sure you understand, asking the questions, making sure that you understand everything very clearly, especially when you have to deal with a lawyer or with courts or judges or anything, contracts. agreements, you name it. It really goes into the descent into that pit of despair. Bye, Beth. Thanks for being here today, my dear. You enjoy the rest of your day too. What movie are you guys talking about? The Princess Bride. That famous line by Mandy Patinkin. My name is Inga Montoya. You murdered my father. Prepare to die. And of course, the famous "As You Wish," sing. Um, but yeah, Billy Crystal was in it. Oh, that Andre the Giant, who ended up passing away. Oh, he was so big. He was a wrestler, it tore on his heart. But yeah, we still have Carrie Elwes. I can never remember the name of the actress though that played the princess, but Billy Crystal was in there too. It was a lot of actors. So um, Carrie Lewis, yeah. Manny Patinkin, Robin White, was that her name? Okay. So yeah, a lot of great movie. Another great movie from the '80s is that just left me. The one with Michelle Pfeiffer. I can't remember who the other guy was, but she was they were both cursed. She, was a wolf, I think, during the day, and he was mortal. And then at night, he would become an animal, and she would be in her physical. Um, I never heard of them besides Billy Crystal. I mean, Carrie does a lot of like TV shows, and he's done a few movies where he's played bad guys and stuff. So he's got he's had a substantial career, nothing major. That's going to be his thing. Like we were starting to watch a creepy show last night, a new TV series with David Duchovny in it. And it was just like, I can't really watch anything else because to me, David Duchovny and Jillian, it's the X-Files, it's Mulder and Scully. It's like sometimes you can't separate, certain people from their really, their big roles. Mandy Patinkin as Inigo Montoya. I always say his name wrong. Inigo Montoya. You murdered my father. Prepare to die. So, but yeah. Well, alrighty then. It's 1:30. I guess that will be the end of the show, unless there's something else that anybody wanted to talk about in chat. I could possibly end with just a no. Right now, all these mini readings all ended up to being grounded, cutting ties, that no longer serve us, using this new moon to let go of that negativity, that energy to start, setting the seeds for planting something to grow something for the future. And so I think we pretty much got the whole, narrative in there. So on that note, Heather had to think. On that note, it is, oh, excuse me, 1:30 my time. Oh, excuse me. Wolf, oh, 94. Oh, something, no, it took place in medieval times. Oh, that's awful. I can't think of it, but no, not Wolf, not Nicholson Pfeiffer. No, this was, yeah, I didn't like that. I'm not a big Nicholson fan after what I found out what he does with young children. Um, um, no, it was in medieval times. It's called Lady. I think it was Lady Hawk, possibly. But yeah, like I said, not too many, not so many. A lot of movies, a lot of memories and stuff. But like I said, some really bad movies. But you know how it is. Every generation has them, right? So, alrighty, everybody. Thanks, Jax, for being here. I know you're dealing with a lot of physical stuff and you got a lot of other things going on. So thanks for being the mod extraordinaire. Thank you to all my other subscribers who are also mods that help out and for showing up and supporting my channel. Lady Hawk, I believe that was it. Yeah. one of them turned to a bird, one of them turned to a wolf. I think he turned. They were cursed by this pope, and at some point she was actually able to. Somehow they were able to break the curse, and so yeah. Um, he met a very unpleasant demise, which he deserved. So everybody have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow night when Roman will be joining me again for a Friday night sidekick. And I think we're going to be talking about our favorite, most recent favorite decks that we've gotten. Um, Conan and Rinsoya, I couldn't get into that. Nah, no Conan. Shan likes watching those movies. I don't. But yeah, like I said, I'm very finicky. So, all right, everybody, have a great night. I don't know where to find your PayPal links. My PayPal is actually listed in the description, my dear. So thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I've been getting some decks, and the holidays are coming up, and I'm like, oh, I got to cut back a little bit. But Shan supports what I enjoy to make me happy and stuff and whatnot. So don't forget the Beast. Oh God, Beastmaster. Ugh. You know what? Before I go, what I would like to say, not to say, the movie I would like to mention that I used to watch a lot because I was a latchkey kid, and we had HBO, um, Clash of the Titans. I really couldn't even watch the new one, but the original, that was a cool movie from the 80s. And I will end on that one. So, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Thank you again, Jax. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.